Signore e signori, buongiorno e viva Firenze. Ladies, gentlemen, good morning. Welcome in Florence. Please look around you. Even the roof. It's a roof, it's not heaven. Heaven is, of course, more glorious than this, at least for us Catholics. What do you see on the walls? On my left, you see Florence taking over the city of Siena. Wow, quite impressive. On my right, you see Florence taking over the city of Pisa. So you may think, wow, Florence is a typical military state like Prussia was at its very beginning. No, you're totally wrong. Florence wasn't that. So what was Florence? There is many things suggesting what was Florence. You have to look, particularly the roof. What do you see? Everywhere. Gold. Gold and gold. And gold was the currency. Currency for wholesale trade, currency for long-distance trade, long-distance banking. Florence was pretty good at feeding sovereign debt. And by the way, the King of England did kill half of the city by making default. But the King of Napoli did the same, so half of the cities have been bankrupt thanks to the kids. So Florence was a city of craftsmen, traders, bankers, a city of bourgeoisie, typically. In the Middle Age, they did start around 1000. In 1300, they were still the center of the Western world. Florence was the city of London, plus Wall Street, plus Chicago Board of Trade. Florence was the center of anything in the Western world. Then they did invite roughly banking, they did invite accounting, they did invite a big currency, you know, il fiorino, the florint, le florin, that's the gold money from Florence. And after the crisis, it did restart, and what you see there is that roughly in 1500, if I summarize, in 1500, the ruling class did decide to stop civil wars inside the ruling class, and then, surprisingly, you may think they did decide to stop the republic and to take a merchant banker as a duke. So while we French, we think that, of course, a duke is an aristocrat, it's not the case here. The duke was Morgan Stanley, Duke Morgan Stanley, and after a while, also, the same family did get a pope, Leo X. So on your head, this circle is showing you the duke, and then the pope being in the family. So if you are not killed, you will be banned. So I guess you will accept many decisions, many political constraints. I will not develop this more. Maybe you expect from me to tell you that this is the army of Angela Merkel invading Greece and Portugal to get the loan back. It's not the case. That's not what I will emphasize. I will do quite the opposite. Yesterday, the mayor of Florence, by the way, thanks to the city of Florence is providing us all the building for free for the interest of European affairs and research. So the mayor of Florence yesterday did extremely well. Florence is not a museum suffocating a city. It is a city very proud of its museum and looking forward to doing better things. That's the same with Europe. We Europeans, all of us are not Europeans. My researcher, Michael, is American. I have researchers from China, Brazil, Russia. We Europeans shouldn't spend our time to cry, to wet our handkerchiefs. We have to do things, we have to look forward, we have to find ways, and we have to do. We have to innovate. Nobody in the world will wait for us, and we do not need to be waited. We need to move. Energy is, of course, one of these big domains where Europe has to move, and maybe where Europe is already moving. That's the purpose of the day. State of the Union. Yesterday we got the President of the European Commission, the Prime Minister of Italy. Today, energy. We know that at least 3 areas of energy are moving in Europe, in a European frame. First, the internal market. I know that, like me, you may think that internal market did start in 1986, and it's pretty long to get it, but could you tell me where you know an electricity internal market being working? In Canada, in the US, in Brazil, in Russia, in India, in China? There is none, nowhere. In gas, you will see in a moment, it's different. In gas, we have an outstanding example with the internal gas market in the US, but except the US, not that much other markets. So building markets can be long or difficult. Is it useful? Is it delivering anything? It will be addressed by the first session. Internal market achievement, yes, not. Delivering what? We will see. Second session, mitigating climate change. Do we have other big political body or entities that doing more than Europe or doing best than Europe to mitigate climate change? We have to look at, we have to discuss it. We know that Europe is using several tools, the price of carbon, the public push for renewable, and the enhancement of energy efficiency. Why do we have so many tools? Do they complement? Do they contradict? We will see too. This afternoon, delivering security of supply. We have push for renewable, and then what will happen for, let's say, gas? Will we get the infrastructure we would like? Will we get the supply we would like? Do we want to have any gas supply in the future? Maybe we do not need any gas and only the US, India and China will use it. It has to be discussed too. And at the end of the day, and it will be also the end of the day, we have to look at these 3 pillars: the internal market, the climate change policy, security of supply. Do we have 3 pillars making our common energy policy more robust at the European level? Or do we have 3 policies not helping each other, contradicting each other, even blocking each other? It's an open debate, and the debate will be open. The structure of the day is made of 4 sessions. Each session, a chairman, a chairperson, 2 speakers, 1 speaker giving a European voice, not necessarily the European voice, but a European voice, and a second speaker making a totally independent and free comments or assessment. So we will get it in this order. First, this session, internal market. Of course, Philippe Lowe. Philippe Lowe has been Director General for Competition, now Director General for Energy. So Philippe knows everything we should know on the European scene. And the contradictor is a compatriot of Philippe, but not living on the same bank of the Channel, David Newberry. David Newberry is one of the most acclaimed and esteemed energy economists in Europe. and is also the founder of Electricity Policy Research Group at the University of Cambridge. And David will give us how he views this, our internal markets. Then we will jump to the other session. Other session, we will get Jos Delbeke, a European view on mitigating climate change. And Jos will be challenged by Carraro, and now I am a little bit dyslexic, so I'm unable to remember your full name. Carraro, I cannot remember if it is Alberto. That's life, huh? You will survive, I hope. Anyway, Carraro is a leading researcher in this field. He is editor of a prestigious journal, REP. He's rector of the University of Venice, and other niceties. Then we will lunch. We are in Italy, so we will lunch for more than 20 minutes. We are not in Mannheim or even in Berkeley. And then we will resume with security of supply. Security of supply, European voice, Walter Bolz. Walter is the chairman of the Austrian Energy Authority, but also vice president of CEER, the European Association of Energy Regulators, and also vice chair of the regulatory board of ESER, the new European agency. And Walter will be challenged by a very dear friend of mine, Jeff McColm, vice president of NERA, the very big and prestigious American consultancy firm. And you will see that, as we say in French, Jeff has not his tongue in his pocket. Then new break, and we will end with 3 people.